Welcome back to the channel. So today we have with us a man by the name of Peter Engels. And the reason I asked Peter to come on the show is because I am completely blown away by his art, but also because he is in a very, very far away place from New York in Belgium. So I thought it would be fun if we had a little conversation. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Ari.
My my pleasure, my pleasure. Um, I got the feeling from talking with you that you're a man who does more talk with his paintbrush than with his mouth. Also, you're not so comfortable with the English language, correct?
My mother tongue is Dutch, but everybody speaks English in Belgium. So okay.
Right. But I promise you that your English is much better than my Dutch, and everybody I know our Dutch. So don't worry. So the thing is that your art is just phenomenal. I don't know how else to explain it. You have some very, very famous people that you paint, and you paint them with such accuracy. Nobody has to even put a sign, you know? And what I'm going to do is when I replay this video, I'm going to overlay our conversation with some of your art.
Okay.
Also, people should know we're going to put in the description your Instagram page. You have a website, other places also?
Yes, my website www.peterengels.eu for Europe. EU.
Okay. Okay, fine. So I'm going to put all this into the description. You want to tell us a little bit about how you got into painting, what motivated you? I think you said that this is something you found a natural talent for, not necessarily training.
Well, I think I come from a creative family. My father was a painter too, uh, and I in my early years I started painting. And when I was around 16, I painted portraits of my friends, and around my 24, I had my first solo exhibition, which sold out because I was very cheap. and um, and then later, I I did some exhibitions with my father. Um, but nothing major until um, I painted the portrait of Nelson Mandela. And the press agency Reuters, they asked me, can we use your painting to put it on the biggest billboard in the world in New York, in Times Square,
Wow.
and on the birthday of Nelson Mandela. So
Wow.
yeah, that was great. And the next couple of weeks, I had a lot of interviews with magazines, newspapers, radio, television, and since then it started for me.
That's amazing. And what's funny is that you said that you sold out because you were cheap. And once again, this is a sign of humility because I promise you, no matter how cheap I am, I'm not getting sold out. Whatever I start with in the room, that's what's going to be left in the room.
Yeah, but my first paintings they were about I think uh, $1,500 so they were cheap.
Right. So,
Big
okay,
but
okay, so I know you have a lot of famous people, but okay, let's pick Nelson Mandela.
yeah.
Why? What makes you sit down and make a picture of Nelson Mandela? Don't get me wrong, he's fascinating, but so is Rocky Balboa, so is many
Yeah,
people, you know?
I admire him. He died, but I admire him because he was also innocent. He couldn't do anything wrong, so he was um, I think most people on this earth say he is a good person. So and it was a big painting, 2 meters by 1 meter. That's a large painting.
Mhm.
But yeah.
So you're saying that you made a picture of him because you felt that he was in other words, you have different reasons for making paintings of different people. For example, the picture behind you, right? You want to explain to everybody. I think you said this is your favorite picture, if I remember correctly, or one of
This
them.
is my new one. It's not ready yet.
Oh, I knew it
This
looked
is
a little different.
the portrait of Sophia Loren, the Italian actress,
Right,
and in 1956, I think she got a Mercedes Gullwing, with the famous Mercedes with the doors, with the wing
right, right.
doors, and because I am I sometimes I paint cars and people in their cars, and I will have an exhibition next September, now in September, in Antwerp, in an automotive art gallery, and they have all kinds of art, but it has to be to do with cars. So
Amazing.
yeah, and that's why I paint this one. But
So what
I have
you have,
also a painting of Brigitte Bardot with her Ford Mustang, George Clooney with his Chevrolet Corvette,
right.
and several others.
Okay, but the back to I'm trying to reformulate the original question about Nelson Mandela. You have a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. So what makes you embark on a specific painting as opposed what clicks in your head and says, I want to paint that? You said with Nelson Mandela was because you I guess some sort of tribute, you really respected him. In
Yeah,
general, though, that there has to be something that's connected to all of these people. George Clooney is not in relatable to Nelson Mandela.
no,
So you got to
George
give us
George Clooney was something else. I was with a friend, and we did a road trip in Switzerland, Switzerland, and he we came by the lakes in between Switzerland and Italy, and we drove by the house of George Clooney, and I thought I have to paint him with his Corvette, uh, because we were then on a road trip with old timer cars, and that's my interest, the old timer cars.
so fascinating. Okay, fair enough. It sounds like I'm pushing for an answer that's not there. Every time you make a picture has a different reason.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Fascinating. So, did you had another picture of Sophia Loren, I think? Which one
No,
was the picture you said was your most favorite one? I thought it was a famous actress with a car. Maybe I'm confusing.
um, no, I think no. After the painting of Nelson Mandela, there was lots of press, and the Prince of Monaco, he bought a painting, the portrait of his mother, Grace Kelly, and so from a lot of press, he bought a painting. Then there was Richard Branson. He visited Belgium, and they asked me, "Would you like to paint him live?" I said, "Okay, I will." I Okay,
Of
I'll do it.
course. Wow.
he was in an interview for 2 hours, and during the 2 hours, I painted him, and then he signed the painting with me, and we sold it for charity.
Wow. Okay. So I got two more questions for you. Number one, if you don't mind, what's the most expensive painting you ever sold?
I think it was the Karl Lagerfeld. There was when I was in New York, I had an exhibition in New York, and
Mhm.
um, it was a coincidence that I met Karl Lagerfeld in his hotel at the Mercer Kitchen. Maybe you know it, the Mercer Kitchen. And his bodyguard, he pushed me away, and Karl Lagerfeld said, "No, no, let him, let him." And so we talked a little bit, and I said, "I'm a painter. I wanted to paint your portrait because you're perfect for my paintings. You're black and white, the white ponytail, the black sunglasses, the black clothing." So he said, "Okay, that's good." And then I made the painting. I met him later on in Paris again, and he really liked it. He said, and I asked him, um, is it like looking into a mirror?" I said, and he said, "It's better." He said, "It's you painted my soul," and that was
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. But you didn't answer my question. What was the most expensive?
It was this one.
How much?
I cannot say
Okay, fair
because
enough.
the owner wouldn't like it that I.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And people don't need to know your business. Okay. The last thing I wanted to bring up, which I find fascinating about social media, guys like me, we are all about social media, and then you have guys like you who use social media as a platform to their actual specialization, and
Yeah,
they end up having such a following that it's almost like you are a social media content creator. So I guess what I'm getting at is that when you say that you have a show, you had a show, but the amazing thing about Instagram is that you have a show at all times because, and this must be an amazing addition. You know, um, we knock modern technology a lot, but the truth is, every once in a while, you find something really beautiful about it. And the fact that you can have all of your paintings on display at all times for free, and you get a following out of it. Just if you're good at what you do, people like you. This
yeah,
is like a gift from God.
yeah. True. It's a lot of work to make the photos, the videos, the write text, but it pays off. People like it very much if you do it good. Yeah,
Yeah, you need to have a neat, clean page like your page. Very simple. Some people try too much, and it just looks like a big mess.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think it's amazing how as the world progresses, there's some lousy stuff and there's some really beautiful sides to it. And
True.
you know, I think it's great for you. It's an amazing blessing. This is what Instagram is was created for, was for men
Yeah,
like you.
yeah. Thank you. If people want to visit my Instagram, it's Peter Engels Artist, and
Yes. We're gonna link everything for you. I'm gonna put your
okay,
website, your the Instagram. I'm very excited to be a part of this. You're a good man, you're a humble man, and incredibly talented. As as we were starting, your daughter came on and you said she's an artist. She learned from watching you. You learned from watching your father. This is the beautiful way of the world, is
yeah.
when you have something that your family knows that it's yours, and you know God put it in your family, and it's nice to observe.
Yeah, thanks for the nice words.
Of course, I'm glad to make a new friend. Okay, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate having you.
Okay, until the next time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.